Do you struggle to let go of clutter in your home? Well, you're in luck because today we are going to review the book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning by Margareta Magnusson, here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granock. I'm a certified professional organizer with over 15 years in the field. And like many of you, I enjoy reading books all about getting organized and decluttering, but there's a lot of them out there. So I'm going to make it a little easier for you. And today we are continuing our series on some of my favorite books that deal with getting organized. Today's book is called The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning by Margareta Magnusson. Now, I know this sounds a little harsh. Death, first of all, we don't like to talk about death. And death cleaning, that sounds weird. But if you can get past the title, this is a really great book that I highly recommend people read. It's not necessarily an easy book to read because of the concept, but let's get into this and talk about it a little bit. So, this book was published in 2018. And not only was it a New York Times bestseller, it's become an international best-selling book. It even had a brief series on Netflix that Amy Poehler helped make. This book is a very slim 117 pages. It's a small book. It makes sense because it's all about downsizing, so the book itself is a little downsized. So the author, Margareta Magnusson, wrote this book when she was already a senior citizen. She said, I believe she was somewhere in at least her 80s, but she never really said for sure how old she was. She was born in Sweden, but she's actually lived all over the world. She currently lives in Stockholm and has 5 children. Now, in addition to writing this international bestseller, Margareta is an artist, and her works have been exhibited in galleries all over the world. I think that's pretty cool. So, what's the main idea of this book? All right, bear with me, people. We can get through this. Here's the deal. In our society, in America, which is where I live, death is a topic that a lot of us don't want to talk about. We just aren't comfortable thinking about the fact that, hey, everybody dies. We just don't like to think about it. And so we don't plan for it. And so we're left with a lot of stress. I've taught classes on organizing and downsizing where I've shared stories about clients who have either kept every single thing their children have ever done, and let's think about what's going to happen to their children when they're gone, or the other side of it, where they are the children dealing with their parents' homes that are full to the rafters with items. And it's so much better to deal with our things while we're still alive and while things are still in our control. And it also helps prevent being a burden to family members or friends when we're gone. And maybe not even when we're gone. We might have a health crisis later in our life where we can't live at home anymore. And that comes very fast. You could have a fall, break a hip, and suddenly they're telling you you're going to have to go to rehab, and then you're going to have to go to perhaps an assisted living situation. Well, what about all the stuff in your house? So it's much better to be thinking about how we can simplify as we age. Now, nobody is saying that you have to live in your big, big house with just a mattress on the floor and a pop-up card table and one folding chair. That's not what we're saying. In this book, Margareta talks about how to simplify as you go and keep thinking about, do these things serve my current life anymore? And if they don't, how can I start weeding them out so that if I have to move, it's much easier. If I have a health crisis, it's much easier to know what to take with me. And when I pass away, it'll be easier for people to deal with my belongings. So, Swedish death cleaning is a lifestyle. It was originated in Sweden. It's a real concept. It has its own Swedish name that I'm not going to try to pronounce, but it's a lifestyle that involves simplifying your belongings as you age, making it easier to downsize and move, as well as reducing the burden on family members and friends when you're gone. And I think that's a really good thing. And I know it's a hard concept to deal with, but Margareta, she's got it, right? She offers wisdom, humor, and practical advice on how to get your affairs in order while you're still alive. I highly recommend this book. If you can get past the idea that you're going to die, which you probably should work on that, then this is a good book to help you plan. Now, if you want to see my list of recommendations for organizing books and products, you can visit organizingmagic.com/resources. You can also click on this playlist up in the right-hand corner that will take you to all of the videos I've made about different books that I recommend. I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter and information about our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday, so be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.